It's now time for all things cars. And now here's your host, Rick Schad.
People that want to get into the collector car world, I'm sure you young people out there know JDM. Kids that are into the car world, I'm sure it's probably a lot of what they talk about.
Him saying that his father has a Tucker, I just went, oh my God. There's only, 51, I think. In the
Yeah, Cory, I've driven one.
Oh my God.
We had a copper-colored one. It was also one of the first cars to have seatbelts.
I know also Francis Ford Coppola got two.
The other automakers, cheaper alternatives to a Tesla, and they're really starting to make huge headway into the marketplace.
I've watched the stock market pretty religiously since I was 8. Just always loved numbers, and really numbers is the thing that ties in most of my hobbies, including golf, sports, and racing. I mean, the thing with Tesla is, at one point, it was 1,100 times earnings. The price it's at now, if you did all the splits, it'd be about 1,500. The most positive person you could find on Tesla was still like, well, it's not like it's ever going to get to 1,500. I mean, that's absolutely asinine. The price it's at now is that. There's still so many people in the stock, and where it is so far from where people ever thought it would be when it started its rise. Because I could spend 2 hours going over major companies that are down 90 to 99%.
If you're not constantly revamping your model, I just don't see them catching up, even if the truck comes onto the marketplace. 2023 Toyota GR Supra and Nissan Z both have manual transmissions. I was excited to see this when I was reading through the news.
Well, if you're a car guy, I feel like it's part of the license. And I've always said, if you want to get rid of distracted driving in teenagers, very, very simple. Get them in a manual. They can't be texting and watching TikTok videos while driving a manual.
Getting into a little NASCAR.
Kevin Harvick may be retiring.
I mean, he's been with Stuart Haas.
8 top 3s and 13 top 5. Jeff Gordon had 9 top 3s and 11 top 5s. Very, very similar. And I think we all remember 2 races after Dale Earnhardt died. And Harvick was in the 29, and he beat Jeff Gordon in Atlanta.
Daytona 500 is spectacular. The whole atmosphere is incredible. And what is your favorite Daytona 500 moment?
Trevor Bayne in the number 21 Wood Brothers beating Jeff Gordon when he was, 20 years old.
And he ran into the jet drying vehicle. Do you remember that? At night? It was like...
Wait, wasn't that
Yeah, it was Montana. I have a long lost cousin, and he's very famous in the Daytona 500 lore, and that is Mr. Cale Yarborough. Cale, with the very first televised episode of the Daytona 500, Allison got in a fight in the infield.
1979. Why that became so big, Rick, is because me being a weather guy as well. The 1979, during that race, there was a huge blizzard. We call President's Day 1, because President's Day 2 was a snowstorm in 2003. But the President's Day 1 storm happened in 1979. Everybody was stuck in their house, and boom, the Daytona 500 was on, and here's them, Yarborough and Allison, beating each other up. It was people like, man, this sport's interesting. I got to watch this, and that really blew NASCAR up. But the other one I just want to mention was 2002 when Sterling Marlin got out of his car with a couple laps to go on the red flag and fixed his car, and then they penalized him. I remember he literally got out of his car in the red flag on the backstretch, fixed his fender, the officials ran over, he got back in the car, and then he penalized him.
Obviously, I'm excited about the auction coming up and everything that's happening in the car world. Thanks you so much to our listening audience who tunes in to listen to us. And don't forget about the auction that's coming up February 17th to 19th. Thanks so much for listening.